As a doctor for over 40 years, I've seen health trends come and go. But the most dangerous trend I see today is what I call healthy habits that are actually harming you. What if I told you that some of the things you're doing to live longer might actually be shortening your life? I'm Dr. James Whitmore. Today, I am issuing a serious warning. We will count down the 5 so-called healthy habits that can have a dangerous downside. And the number 1 habit is something that 9 out of 10 health-conscious people do every single morning. Are you more focused on diet or exercise for your health? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to learn the wisdom behind true health, hit that subscribe button. Now let's begin the countdown. Number 5, the dogma of drinking 8 glasses of water a day. We've all heard it 1,000 times. Stay hydrated, drink your 8 glasses. But what if I told you that for some people, especially those over 60, this advice can be dangerous? The science is about a delicate balance of electrolytes, particularly sodium. When you drink excessive amounts of plain water without adequately replacing the minerals you lose through sweat and daily life, you can dilute the sodium levels in your blood. This condition, called hyponatremia, can lead to confusion, dizziness, and in severe cases can be very dangerous, especially for those with heart or kidney conditions. I had a patient, a 70-year-old woman from a sunny part of Canada, who was an avid walker. She was so proud of following the 8 glasses rule to the letter. She came to me describing a persistent feeling of brain fog and lightheadedness, which she feared was the start of something serious. Her blood tests showed her sodium was critically low. Her healthy habit was actually causing her symptoms. The simple solution is not to just drink water, it's to drink smart water. Add a tiny pinch of unrefined sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to your water. This helps to replenish those essential electrolytes, ensuring you're not just diluting your system. This habit is a perfect example of a double-edged sword. Hydration is life, but overhydration can be a problem. Now, from water, let's move to a supplement that is sitting in millions of medicine cabinets. Number 4, taking a daily calcium supplement for strong bones. For decades, we've told people, especially post-menopausal women, to take calcium to prevent osteoporosis. But what if that calcium is ending up in the wrong place, hardening your arteries instead of your bones? This is what we call the calcium paradox. Your body is intelligent, but it needs a director. A vitamin called K2 is the traffic cop that tells calcium where to go. If you are taking high doses of calcium without enough vitamin K2, that calcium can be deposited in your soft tissues, like your blood vessels and heart valves. I remember a patient from the UK, a gentleman in his late 60s. He was taking a high-dose calcium pill every day, thinking he was protecting himself. He couldn't understand why his doctors were concerned about the increasing calcification in his arteries. He described the utter shock and confusion on his face when I explained that his bone health supplement might be contributing to his heart risk. It was a classic case of the double-edged sword in action. The simple guide here is to prioritize getting calcium from your food first, from sources like sardines, leafy greens, and dairy if you tolerate it. If you do need to supplement, make sure it is balanced with vitamin K2. Now, you've seen 2 examples where a good intention can lead to a bad outcome. This brings us to a crucial principle of health. Let's now dive into the science of the double-edged sword. Now, you've seen 2 examples where a good intention can lead to a bad outcome. This brings us to a crucial principle of health and the theme of our entire conversation today. I call it the double-edged sword principle. Almost every habit, nutrient, or exercise in the world of health is a double-edged sword. It has a beneficial edge and it has a sharp, potentially dangerous edge. A habit is only healthy in the right context and, critically, in the right dose. In medicine, there is a concept called hormesis, which is the idea that a small amount of a beneficial stressor can make you stronger. but too much of it can break you down. The key to a long and healthy life is not extremism, it is wisdom and balance. With that principle in mind, let's look at another popular health trend that perfectly illustrates this double-edged nature. Number 3, the daily healthy sugar bomb. You start your day with a vibrant green juice or a fruit-packed smoothie, feeling virtuous. But are you actually drinking a glass of sugar that's hijacking your metabolism for the rest of the day? Here is the science. When you juice fruits and vegetables, you remove the most important part, the fiber. Without fiber to slow down absorption, the sugar from those fruits hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave, causing a massive blood sugar spike. Your body then has to release a flood of insulin to deal with it. This is a classic double-edged sword. The vitamins are the good edge, but the massive fiberless sugar load is the sharp, dangerous edge that over time can contribute to insulin resistance and fatty liver disease. I think of a client from Los Angeles, a city full of juice bars. A 55-year-old woman who was doing a daily juice cleanse to be healthy. She couldn't understand why she felt so exhausted and irritable every afternoon. She described it as a roller coaster of energy, a quick high, followed by a terrible crash. That crash was her body struggling with the intense sugar spikes from her healthy juices. The simple guide is to prioritize whole fruits over juice. And if you make a smoothie, follow my rule: 1 serving of fruit, 2 servings of green vegetables. A source of protein like Greek yogurt or a clean protein powder, and a source of healthy fat like avocado or chia seeds. This combination blunts the blood sugar response and makes it a truly balanced meal. So we've talked about what you drink. Now, let's talk about how you move. The next habit is one that many people see as the ultimate symbol of health and discipline, but it too can backfire. Number 2. Running yourself into the ground. This may be a difficult one to hear, especially for those who are very disciplined. Running is a wonderful activity. But can you run your way to a shorter life? If you're not careful, the answer is yes. The science is about a hormone we've discussed before, cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic, long-duration cardio, like running for an hour or more every single day without adequate recovery, can lead to chronically elevated cortisol levels. This creates systemic inflammation and excessive oxidative stress, which are 2 of the primary drivers of the aging process. Exercise is perhaps the most powerful double-edged sword we have. The right amount builds you up. Too much, without recovery, breaks you down. I had a patient, a very dedicated executive from the UK in his late 50s. He ran 10 kilometers every single morning before work, rain or shine. He saw it as a badge of honor, yet he was plagued by constant injuries, poor sleep and nagging colds. He described feeling perpetually worn out, as if his body was fighting against him despite his incredible discipline. His body wasn't fighting him, it was begging for a day off. The wisdom is in variety and recovery. Prioritize strength training to build and maintain precious muscle. Incorporate short bursts of intense activity and cherish gentle movement like walking. And most importantly, schedule rest days. They are not lazy. They are the moments when your body actually gets stronger. So we have learned that even with diet and exercise, more is not always better. But what about the simplest, most foundational habit of all? The one thing millions of people do every morning, believing it's the ultimate health insurance policy. The truth about this final habit may be the most surprising of all. So we have learned that even with diet and exercise, more is not always better. But what about the simplest, most foundational habit of all? The one thing millions of people do every morning, believing it's the ultimate health insurance policy. The truth about this final habit may be the most surprising of all. Number 1, taking a cheap, generic, daily multivitamin. Now, this may be shocking to hear. For decades, we've been told to take a multivitamin for nutritional insurance. But here is the uncomfortable truth. A low-quality multivitamin can do more harm than good. The science is complex, but the reason is simple. Many cheap multivitamins use synthetic forms of vitamins that your body struggles to recognize and use, like folic acid, instead of the natural folate. More dangerously, they often contain minerals that not everyone needs, like iron. For a man or a postmenopausal woman, supplementing with iron you don't need can lead to a dangerous condition called iron overload, which is toxic to your liver and heart. I remember a male patient of mine, a very health-conscious man from Australia in his 60s. He was experiencing chronic fatigue and joint pain. For years, we couldn't find the cause. It wasn't until we ran a full iron panel that we discovered he had dangerously high levels of stored iron. The culprit? The one-a-day men's multivitamin he had been taking faithfully for 20 years. He was shocked, describing a feeling of betrayal by a habit he thought was the cornerstone of his health. This is the ultimate double-edged sword. You take it for health, but the wrong formulation can silently cause harm. The simple guide is this: stop taking a generic multivitamin, get your nutrient levels tested, and then supplement only what you truly need, using high-quality, bioavailable forms of those nutrients. Food should always be your first medicine. Now that you know the 5 habits, let's bring this all together with the most important lesson of all. So today, we have learned that in the world of health, nearly everything is a double-edged sword. We've debunked the dogma of drinking 8 glasses of water, the myth of high-dose calcium, the hidden sugar in smoothies, the more is better approach to running, and the false security of a generic multivitamin. The biggest mistake people make is thinking in extremes. They believe a habit is either good or bad. The truth is that the wisdom is not in doing more, but in doing just enough of the right things, in the right context. Now, for our Ask the Doc segment. A question I'm often asked is, Dr. James, so do you take any vitamins at all? Yes, I do. But I don't take a multivitamin. I take a few specific nutrients that my own blood tests have shown I need in their most natural forms. That is the essence of personalized medicine. The information in this video is not to make you fearful. It is to make you a wiser, more discerning advocate for your own health. Please, always discuss any new supplement or major habit change with your own doctor. I have a challenge for you this week. Simply read the label on one of your supplement bottles. Don't just look at the front. Look at the ingredients on the back. Just start the habit of being curious. If this video has helped you think more wisely about your health, let me know by typing balance in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to Generations of Health for more honest advice you can trust. Remember, the goal of a long life is not just to live more years, but to live more years well. Be wise, be well.